Part 1. Introduction to Longevity Myths. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into practical health strategies that can truly extend your life and boost your vitality. Today, we're tackling some of the biggest misconceptions that are quietly shortening lives, common medical pitfalls and lifestyle errors that many fall into without realizing it. We'll break it down simply, focusing on two core factors that form the foundation for feeling younger at every age, from your 30s looking like 20s to your 50s outpacing peers in energy and health. Imagine this. You hit 40 and still have the stamina of someone a decade younger, or you turn 50 feeling sharper and stronger than in your youth. That's not a pipe dream. It's achievable through understanding how your body works and avoiding the traps that lead to premature aging. The key? Two straightforward elements at the top of the health pyramid: nutrition that supports metabolic balance and consistent physical activity that builds resilience. Get these right, and everything else, like heart health, liver function, and even stroke prevention, falls into place naturally. But here's the reality check. Most people accept decline as inevitable, saying things like, aging is just tough, or I've got limited time left, why bother changing? That mindset, blended with laziness and a touch of denial, is what accelerates wear and tear. Before we jump in, a quick note: I just choked on my pre-stream coffee and my throat's still clearing, a reminder that small habits matter. The first major issue stems from how diagnoses are handled in everyday medical practice. It's a widespread error where people across all walks of life, from entry-level workers to high-profile executives, end up with advice that misses the mark. Everyone wants to live longer, healthier lives, yet the guidance received often focuses on symptoms rather than root causes. Whether you're seeing a local doctor or consulting specialists abroad, the results can be strikingly similar: ineffective strategies that prolong problems instead of solving them. Take metabolic syndrome, for instance. High insulin levels that underpin most chronic conditions. This isn't just about one organ, it's interconnected. A healthy liver produces cholesterol efficiently, supporting heart health. Poor habits lead to fatty buildup, raising stroke risks through thickened blood. People arrive at wellness programs with stacks of tests from top-tier facilities, yet they're still prescribed meds that target high blood sugar without addressing diet. Think about it. Elevated glucose often comes from diets heavy in carbs, 60 to 70% of intake overwhelming the pancreas. It can't keep up with constant sugar loads, leading to insulin resistance and diabetes. Yet, treatment revolves around drugs like metformin. Whether you're flying private to elite clinics or squeezing in appointments at a busy office job, rich or not, the approach is the same: manage the symptom, ignore the lifestyle trigger. Even luxurious care in state-of-the-art settings with beautiful interiors follows outdated protocols. Nobody explains that cutting back on carbs could reverse it all. It's like treating a constant forehead bump with fancy creams instead of advising you to stop banging your head against the wall. Simple, but not profitable. The system thrives on repeat visits, insurance claims, and endless prescriptions, capitalizing on the fear of mortality. In contrast, the real fix, rebalancing your plate, costs nothing extra and empowers you. As someone who teaches health education full-time, supporting a family through straightforward courses on eating and recovery, I see the difference daily. No hype, just basics. Fuel your body right to avoid meds altogether. Working at a clinic pushing pills might pay more, but it wouldn't align with helping people thrive independently. This high insulin state is the modern killer, fueling everything from diabetes to fatty liver, thyroid issues, and even migraines. Videos on each topic exist to guide you, but the trust in white coats often blinds people to questioning advice. It's assumed correct because it's official, yet it frequently harms more than heals. On the flip side, online influencers, while passionate, sometimes spread unverified tips that don't match. Part 2. The Pitfalls of Online Advice. Your body's needs leading to misguided choices. These content creators, often with large followings, promote ideas like intuitive eating, where you listen to your body and indulge cravings without restrictions. The logic? Denying yourself leads to binges, so better to eat that burger or fries now to avoid overdoing it later. It sounds reasonable at first, embrace what you want for balance, but it undermines the discipline required for real health. This approach is like saying, in a committed relationship, if you're tempted, just act on it because suppressing urges might lead to worse slip-ups. I won't cheat, but if I really like someone, I'll do it once to get it out of my system, better than multiple times. That's not fidelity. It's a recipe for erosion. Your body demands the same loyalty, consistent, respectful care, not sporadic indulgence. Cravings often stem from poor prior habits, like a carb-heavy meal spiking serotonin artificially, leaving you dissatisfied with simpler, nutrient-dense options like steak and greens. Why does this persist? Many influencers lack deep expertise, jumping on trends without long-term evidence. Over years, I've seen patterns. New voices rise with flashy advice, extreme veganism, fruit-only diets, or raw eating, gaining traction quickly only to fade as followers face issues. They promise freedom from rules, but bodies don't thrive on unchecked freedom. They need structure. True progress comes from a few well-executed habits: academic rigor in learning, physical commitment, and family balance, applied fully without half measures. When people adopt these tips, results show in tests. Folks arrive with low hemoglobin, around 85, empty blood, unable to carry oxygen, iron deficiencies, and thyroid function tanked. They blame animal proteins or seafood, opting for months of just mangoes and bananas instead. Nails brittle, teeth weakening, hair thinning, skin dull, yet they feel enlightened. Tropical retreats amplify this, with newcomers overloading on fruits to open energy centers, ignoring basics like amino acids and healthy fats. Your body is precision equipment, not a hammer for every task. Treat an iPad like a tool for its purpose, creating, learning, not pounding nails or digging. Same here. Feed it proteins, fats, and fibers to avoid glycation, sugar-damaging proteins, and respect operational rules. Extremes swing wild. One side overloads on home-cooked junk, medicating fallout. The other chases spiritual highs with zero substance, healing with herbs alone. Balance is key. No maximalism. For beginners, start with fundamentals. Over 200,000 have transformed via core videos on reversing insulin resistance or metabolic syndrome, your blueprint for weight management and vitality. Pills won't cut it. Meditation or fruit fests fall short. Aim for the middle. Timely, quality meals, adequate protein, 1 gram per kilogram body weight, fiber-rich veggies, and vitamins from whole sources. This builds the base for longevity. 2 metrics define your health span: VO2 max, how efficiently lungs process oxygen, and muscle mass suited to your genetics, not bodybuilder extremes. Age-related losses like sarcopenia and osteoporosis hit earlier now, often in the 30s or 40s due to sedentary lives. Peers from school, now 20 years post-grad, show it. Normal jobs, families, but looking 15 years older from unchecked habits. Cells divide constantly, renewing you. But poor fuel degrades copies, like photocopying a photo until details blur. Low protein, missing fat-soluble vitamins, chronic inflammation, high uric acid, fatty liver, all stall regeneration. Growth hormone dips, stem cells idle, autophagy, cellular cleanup, stalls, accelerating aging. Discipline counters this, daily steps toward better fuel and movement. Looking at classmates, the gap is stark. They age faster from life's defaults. I maintain through non-stop work, training, and rest, aiming 7-hour sleep. No days off in years. Passion fuels it. At 40 plus, develop muscles protect against decline. Even in 50s or postmenopausal, a year of targeted exercise reverses losses, safeguarding bones and vitality for family, pets, or personal joy. Train smart. Mix strength and cardio. My routine: 4 strength days, 1 dedicated cardio, all with 10,000 to 14,000 steps. Cardio days hit 20,000 to 25,000 via walking, running, or swimming. Strength builds the corset against falls, post 50.
Part 3. Cardio's role in vitality. Cardio enhances this protection by boosting VO2 max, the measure of how well your lungs and heart deliver oxygen to muscles during effort. This isn't just for athletes. It's a direct predictor of lifespan and daily energy. Regular aerobic work, like Zone 2 training, moderate intensity where you can talk but feel challenged, keeps your cardiovascular system efficient, reducing risks for heart issues and improving overall endurance. Zone 2 means aiming for 60 to 70% of max heart rate. Think brisk walking on a treadmill at 3 to 4 mph with a slight incline, holding a 115 to 130 BPM pulse for 45 to 60 minutes. Progress by upping speed or incline gradually, pushing to 140 BPM as fitness builds. Recently, I've incorporated higher intensities, hitting 160 plus BPM for 30 to 40 minutes, which sharpens oxygen uptake and fat-burning efficiency. Why prioritize this? Low VO2 max signals poor adaptation to stress, leading to fatigue and higher disease odds. Combined with strength, it forms the gold standard. Muscles store and use glucose better, curbing insulin resistance without weight loss alone. Studies show even 30 to 60 minutes weekly of resistance plus cardio slashes all-cause mortality by 40 to 47%, outpacing either alone. Avoiding metabolic syndrome, no high insulin from carb overloads, is non-negotiable. Without it, plus solid muscle and lung capacity, natural selection favors the adaptable. Death and decline chase everyone, but preparation, through movement and mindful eating, blunts their edge. These aren't luxuries, they're antidotes to frailty. Supporting players amplify results. Intermittent fasting boosts human growth hormone for repair. 48 to 72-hour fasts every few months activate stem cells for renewal. Daily 16 to 17-hour fasts trigger autophagy, clearing cellular junk. Together, they sustain muscle, oxygen flow, and metabolic health. It seems basic, yet demands ditching laziness. No quick fixes or costs involved, just habits. You can't buy toned muscles, expanded lung capacity, or hormonal balance. They're earned through consistency amid life's chaos, stress, losses, temptations. That inner voice battles indulgence. Skip the wine and cookies after a rough day? Tomorrow's regret hits harder. Or bypass the bakery's fresh chocolate croissants pulling you in? The temptation whispers just two, but discipline says not today, we're building tomorrow. Most crave ease, fueling trends like appetite suppressants or surgeries for aesthetics without effort. These shortcuts, weekly shots curbing hunger, let you skip discipline, losing weight, but often muscle too. Muscles soak up glucose, preventing spikes. Without enough protein, 1.5 grams per kilogram ideal, sarcopenia worsens. Bones weaken, metabolism slows. It's a facade of progress. Scale drops, health erodes. True leanness? 15% body fat for men, 20–25% for women, with max muscle for your frame. Deficits from clean eating and activity achieve this sustainably, unlike drugs blocking ghrelin, hunger hormone, but ignoring protein needs. Body adapts downward, but you rebound weaker without foundational strength. Summing up so far, symptom-focused meds and unchecked online tips shorten lives by ignoring roots. Sedentary routines, poor oxygen capacity, low repair hormones, stalled cleanup. The antidote? Discipline. No cash, just action. Start with basics on insulin resistance reversal for your roadmap. This transparency builds trust. Millions tune in monthly for no-nonsense guidance. Educational programs fill limited spots, but free videos equip anyone. Doctors themselves seek fixes when protocols fail patients and themselves, like endocrinologists battling their own imbalances while prescribing endlessly. Time-strapped pros can't lecture hourly, they patch symptoms in minutes. You must self-advocate, question sources, track impacts, respect your body's rules. Now, let's field questions to apply this. On kids, no fasting protocols under 18 or 20. Growth zones need steady, quality fuel without extremes. Parents modeling health, offering balanced options, fosters joy in eating, not restriction. Emotions tie to food. Provide satisfaction through nutrient-dense treats like berry creams or grilled meats with veggies, keeping 95% wholesome. Adults falter seeking emotional highs and junk, spiking serotonin unnaturally, then crashing. Bored with steak? That's post-fast food adaptation. Retrain for savoring real flavors. Kids thrive similarly. Fun, varied meals build habits without guilt. Tap water? It disrupts electrolyte balance via pipes and treatments, unbalancing pH and minerals in blood, lymph, and more. No 80% free water myth. Liquids form from intake. Hydrate proactively before thirst. Opt for filtered or mineral-rich bottle to maintain harmony. 3 months keto restoring thyroid. Great. Dose reduction signal progress. Seeds like pumpkin? Up to 100 grams fine, but count calories, 500 and 100 grams. Track macros to avoid excess. Subscribe for daily health battles. Your support pushes us toward 500,000, fueling more insights. 1 meal a day and gallstones? Rare meals concentrate bile, preventing cholesterol deposits. Stats show frequent eating links to stones, not infrequency. From diagnostics, stones form from stagnant diluted bile in constant eaters.
Part 4. Building Sustainable Habits. Your body's operational guidelines. Skipping this leads to accelerated wear, where even minor stressors compound into major declines. To counter, integrate sleep as a pillar. Aim for 7 to 9 hours nightly, prioritizing consistency over perfection. Research shows regular sleep patterns cut mortality risks by 20 to 48%, enhancing repair processes like hormone release and toxin clearance that fend off aging. Deep sleep stages are gold. Heart rate drops, growth hormones surge for muscle and tissue repair. Immune cells ramp up against inflammation. Without it, cortisol spikes, oxidizing cells and DNA, hastening wrinkles, cognitive fog, and disease onset. For working adults, hacks like dimming lights 2 hours pre-bed, cutting screens, and syncing with natural light boost deep sleep efficiency, adding years, up to 5 for men, 2 for women with optimal routines. Irregular schedules disrupt this. Late nights followed by early mornings fragment cycles, raising heart disease odds by 22% and cancer by 19%. Track with wearables to score habits, duration, ease of falling asleep, no excessive daytime drowsiness, and feeling rested. High scorers see 30% lower premature death risk. It's not about rigidity. Occasional slips are fine if the baseline holds. Pair this with hydration smarts from earlier. Proactive sips of mineral-balanced water maintain electrolyte harmony in blood and lymph, fueling all repairs. Tap sources often corrode this via metals and chlorine, so filter or choose bottled with pH 7 to 8.5 for optimal cellular function. Now, applying to real life, your daily plate. Breakfast for the family. Simple, satisfying options like warmed meat sticks, just protein, fat, and spices, no fillers, paired with fruits or berries. One kid prefers hot, the other cold. Variety keeps it fun without excess. Follow with a creamy treat, whipped cream, a touch of natural sweetener, and fresh raspberries. Sweet, vibrant, and nutrient-packed. Lunch builds on that. Baked salmon for omega-3s, alongside tomatoes for one child and cucumbers for the other. Dessert? A dollop of cheese with more berries. Elegant, indulgent, zero crash. This isn't deprivation, it's elevation. After sugary binges, real fruits taste flat because refined carbs nuke taste buds with 60 g sugar per bar. Retrain, and flavors pop. Kids need this emotional layer. 95% clean fuel for growth, 5% treats at parties to blend in without rebellion. Extreme restrictions breed resentment. Think parents forcing raw diets, landing kids in hospitals for deficiencies. Model balance. Keto-friendly pancakes or tiramisu at home satisfy without sabotage. For adults, the struggle mirrors. Seeking fun in processed hits leads to metabolic chaos. Bored with grilled protein? That's adaptation lag. Shift from fast food highs to savoring textures. Emotions drive 80% of slip-ups. Counter with mindful prep, like prepping veggie sides or herbal teas for comfort. Q&A time continues. How does one meal a day affect cholesterol? It stabilizes levels by allowing bile concentration, unlike frequent eating that dilutes it, fostering deposits. Diagnostics confirm, stone formers eat often. Intermittent eaters rarely do. Process? Stagnant bile in overfed gallbladders crystallizes cholesterol. Spacing meals flushes it. Seeds in keto? Yes. 100-gram pumpkin seeds deliver zinc and magnesium for thyroid support, but they're calorie-dense. 500 per serving. Log them in your totals to stay in deficit without stalling progress. Fasting for longevity? It spikes growth hormone 5 times, mimicking youth's repair mode. But ease in. Start with 12 to 14 hours overnight. For thyroid recovery, monitor. Many see dose drops in months as inflammation eases. Gallbladder worries on low carb? Opposite. Fats stimulate emptying, preventing stasis. High-carb diets spike insulin, thickening bile. Balanced fats keep flow steady. Sleep's tie-in? Post-meal rest aids digestion, but chronic short sleep elevates cholesterol via stress. Aim consistent bedtimes to regulate lipids naturally. Building muscle via strength? Essential. Each session preserves mass, which burns more calories at rest, stabilizing blood sugar. Women especially benefit. 30 minutes, twice weekly, halves frailty risk per studies. VO2 max drills. Beyond walking, try cycling intervals. Alternate 5 minutes moderate with 1 minute push. This expands lung capacity 10 to 20% in months, slashing heart event odds by 15% per 1 MET gain. Metabolic syndrome reversal? Beyond diet, add resistance bands if gym access is limited. Home squats or push-ups build the foundation, improving insulin sensitivity 25 to 30%. Temptation traps? That mid-afternoon slump? Not hunger, dehydration, or poor sleep. Sip electrolytes, stretch briefly. Evening wine pull? Swap for sparkling water with lemon. Same ritual, but better recovery. Family integration? Involve kids in cooking. Chop veggies, mix dressings. It teaches without lectures, embedding habits. One viewer shared, "My teens now request salmon nights. Energy up, mood stable." Long-term payoff? At 40, V stack. Muscle shield falls, lungs fuel hikes, sleep sharpens focus. Peers fade, you thrive. Track progress, monthly weigh-ins, energy logs, blood panels, adjust as needed. Discipline's edge? It's free, portable. No gym? Body weight works. Busy schedule? Meal prep Sundays. The voice saying skip today loses to one more set builds tomorrow. Inflammation check? Omega-3s from fish curb it, pair with sleep for double impact. Chronic low-grade fire ages you 5 to 10 years prematurely. Hormone harmony? Protein hits 1.6 grams per kilogram, preserve testosterone and estrogen, key for vitality. Women post-40, strength preserves bone density 2 to 3% yearly. Water myths busted? Not 8 glasses mandatory. Listen to thirst, but quality matters. Mineral drops if piped, invest in a good filter for longevity boost. Keto milestones? 3 months in, celebrate non-scale wins. Clearer skin, steadier moods. Seeds fit, just portion to avoid carb creep. Gallstone science? Frequent small meals overload bile production. Larger, spaced ones optimize. No cases in my reviews from OneOdd. Prevention via fat inclusion. This foundation, nutrition, movement, and rest interlock. Neglect one, others suffer. Commit, and vitality compounds.
Part 5. Daily routines for metabolic balance. Track intake. Aim for 1.6 to 2.2 grams protein per kilogram to fuel repairs without excess. Apps help log macros, revealing patterns like hidden carbs sneaking in via sauces. Consistency here stabilizes blood sugar, preventing the 60% drop in insulin sensitivity from irregular habits. Meal timing matters. Intermittent windows, 16-8, enhance fat adaptation, but ease in to avoid stress. Breakfast skippers often report sharper focus by noon. Pair with black coffee for metabolic kick. Hydration follows, 2 to 3 liters daily, mineralized, timed pre- and post-workouts to sustain electrolyte flow. Strength sessions, twice weekly, full-body circuits, squats, rows, presses at 8 to 12 reps. This preserves lean mass, which correlates to 20% longer telomeres, aging markers, in consistent lifters. No equipment? Wall sits and planks build core resilience, cutting fall risks by 30% in midlife. Cardio integration. Post-strength, 20-minute steady-state rowing or cycling at Zone 2.
This duo boosts VO2 max 15%, while strength adds mitochondrial density for energy efficiency. Track heart rate. Apps like Whoop quantify gains, motivating tweaks. Stress layers in. Cortisol from unchecked worries erodes gains. 10 minutes daily meditation or journaling resets it. Studies link high stress to 40% faster muscle loss. Counter with breathwork, preserving hormone balance. Family dynamics. Involve partners in routines. Joint walks foster accountability, doubling adherence rates. Kids mimic. Family hikes teach movement as play, embedding lifelong patterns without force. Q&A deep dive. OMAD and liver health? It supports by reducing insulin spikes, aiding detox. Fatty liver shrinks 20 to 30% in adherence via lower glycogen loads. But monitor enzymes, add liver greens like dandelion if needed. Thyroid on low carb. Many normalize T3, T4 in 3 to 6 months as inflammation drops. Seeds aid with selenium, but rotate to avoid oxalates. Dose tweaks? Consult labs quarterly. Gallbladder flow. Fats from OMAD stimulate contractions 2 to 3 times daily, preventing sludge. High-carb stasis? That's the culprit. Cholesterol binds better in concentrated bile. Sleep synergy. 7 hours primes next-day metabolism. Short nights raise fasting glucose 15%. Bed by 10 p.m. aligns circadian clocks, optimizing fat burn overnight. Longevity metrics. Annual panels, HbA1c under 5.5, CRP low invalidate myths. Muscle scans via DEXA show progress. Aim 40% plus lean mass for protective buffer. Barrier busting. Time crunches? Batch cook protein Sundays. Chicken batches last 4 days. Desk job? Standing desks add 50 calories per hour burned, easing metabolic drag. Emotional eating. Cravings peak evenings, prep decoys like nut butters on celery. This swaps dopamine hits from junk for steady satisfaction, reducing binges 50%. Women-specific. Post-30, estrogen dips accelerate sarcopenia. Strength halts it, maintaining bone 1 to 2% yearly. Cardio tempers hot flashes via endorphin release. Men's angle. Testosterone thrives on resistance, squats spike at 20%, combined with zinc-rich seeds for 10% libido boost, tying to vitality. Environment hacks. Stock fridge with prepped salads, remove triggers like chips. Supportive circles, join online groups, up accountability 70%. Progress plateaus. Switch routines every 8 weeks. Add weights or intervals. This prevents adaptation stalls, sustaining 5 to 10% yearly VO2 gains. Inflammatory fighters. Turmeric in meals, paired with omega-3s, drops markers 25%. Sleep amplifies. Poor rest negates 50% of anti-inflammatory effects. Hormone support. Fasted walks mornings elevate GH 300%. Women, cycle sync, lift heavy follicular phase. This preserves youth markers like skin elasticity. Water quality redux. RO filters strip minerals, remineralize with drops for pH stability. Dehydration mimics hunger, proper intake curbs 20% false cravings. Keto evolutions. Beyond 3 months, experiment cyclically. Carb ups monthly for thyroid if active. Seeds, soak to enhance absorption, fitting 20-gram fat quota. Stone prevention. OMAD users show 80% lower incidence. Bile acids solubilize cholesterol efficiently. Frequent grazers, 3 times risk from dilution. Routine stacking. Link habits. Post-brush, floss, then stretch. This chains actions, boosting completion 40% via momentum. Midlife markers. At 40, these yield 5 to 7 extra healthy years. Peers skipping? 15% higher chronic odds. Track waist under 35-inch men, 31-inch women for metabolic green light. Discipline fuel. Visualize 60s self, vibrant, active. This intrinsic why sustains through slumps, outperforming external goals. Fasting variants. 5-2, 2 low-calorie days, suits beginners, mimicking OMAD benefits with flexibility. Stem cell surge post 48 hours regenerates 10% more efficiently. Muscle myths. Not bulk, functional strength. Planks build endurance, aim 60-second holds for core longevity. VO2 at home. Stair climbs, 10 flights steady, gauge capacity. Improve via high-intensity bursts, upping endurance 20% quarterly. Metabolic audits. Weekly weigh, monthly measure. Adjust calories down 10% if stalled, prioritizing protein. Temptation toolkit. Stress snacks, herbal tea rituals. Evening polls, dim lights, read. Cortisol drops 30%, easing urges. Family wins. Shared meals cut processed intake 40%. Kids' involvement ups veggie acceptance 50%. Legacy building. Compounding. Year 1, energy surge. Year 5, disease resistance. Decade, peerless vitality. Commit incrementally.
Part 6. Advanced Longevity Tactics. Your body's feedback. Quarterly reviews. Fasting glucose under 90 milligrams per deciliter. Triglycerides below 150. Confirmed trajectory. Plateaus. Cycle macros. 80% low-carb weeks. 20% refeeds with roots for glycogen. This sustains thyroid without stalls, boosting adherence 60%. Fasting protocols evolve from 16-8 daily to 5-2 weekly, 500 cal low days. Autophagy peaks at 24 hours, recycling 10 to 15% damaged proteins. Extend to 36 for stem cell boosts, regenerating tissues 20% faster. Women, align with cycles. Shorter fasts luteal phase to spare progesterone. Strength progressions periodize. Week 1 heavy, 6 reps. Week 2 volume, 15 reps. This hypertrophies muscle 5 to 10% yearly, elevating basal metabolic rate 100 to 200 cals per day. Functional focus. Deadlifts for posture, pulls for grip, reducing injury odds 40% in 50s. Cardio variety. Zone 5 sprints twice weekly, 30 secs all out, 4-minute recovery x8. Spike VO2 25%, mimicking youth's peak capacity. Pair with yoga flows for flexibility, cutting stress-induced cortisol 30% that otherwise tanks metabolism. Stress mastery. 10-min box breathing, 4 in, 4 hold, 4 out, 4 hold, drops adrenaline 25%. Integrate post-meal to aid digestion. Journal triggers, work deadlines, and reframe, challenge, not threat. This preserves muscle as chronic stress catabolizes 1 to 2 pounds monthly. Gut health layer. Ferments like sauerkraut add diversity, improving insulin response 15%. Prebiotics from onions and garlic feed bugs, reducing inflammation markers 20%. Test microbiome if bloating persists. Imbalances linked to 30% metabolic inefficiency. Q&A expansions. OMAD cholesterol dynamics. It lowers LDL 10 to 20% via better bile recycling. High carb elevates via excess production. Track lipids biannually. HDL rises with fats. Thyroid keto updates. 6 months in, many off meds. Selenium from Brazil nuts, 2 per day, aids conversion. If hair thins, add collagen. Supports T4 to T3 10%. Gallbladder safeguards. Include bitters like dandelion tea pre-meal to fur gallbladder contractions. OMAD users 70% lower stone risk. Frequent meals dilute bile salts, promoting crystals. Sleep optimization. Blue blockers evening cut melatonin disruption 50%. Magnesium glycinate 300 milligrams deepens stages, enhancing GH release 200%. Naps 20-minute midday recharge without inertia. Hormone checks. Saliva tests quarterly. Optimize DHEA with sun 20 minutes daily for adrenal support. Men, zinc curbs estrogen. Women, cycle fasting avoids amenorrhea. Environment tweaks. Air purifiers reduce pollutants taxing liver 15%. Plants like snake add oxygen, aiding detox. Home saunas 3 times a week mimic fasts, upping heat shock proteins for longevity. Plateau breakers. Deload weeks, 50% intensity, prevent overtraining, restoring cortisol balance. Women, 40 plus, bone density scans guide calcium intake, 1200 milligrams via greens. Inflammation protocols. Curcumin, 1 gram with pepperine, plus fish oil drops CRP 40%. Fasted cardio amplifies. Track via blood, under 1 milligram per liter ideal. Water enhancements. Add electrolytes, sodium 2 grams, potassium 1 gram daily for keto flu prevention. pH strips ensure 7.2 to 7.4. Dehydration spikes glucose 10%. Keto longevity. Year 1, add MCT oil for ketones, fuels brain 60% efficiently. Cycle berries for antioxidants, curbing oxidative stress 25%. Stone avoidance. Ursodiol if prone, but lifestyle trumps. Fats emulsify 90% cholesterol. No OMAD links, overeating does. Habit chaining. Meal prep plus walk equals dual wins. Apps gamify streaks, upping compliance 50%. Social, accountability buddies double results. Midlife milestones. 50s, VO2 holds via consistency, slashing dementia 35%. Peers decline, you adapt. Discipline drivers. Affirmations. I invest in my future self, boost willpower 20%. Visualize grandkids' weddings active. Fasting frontiers. Alternate day, 500 cal, for advanced mimicking caloric restriction, extending lifespan markers 10 to 15% in trials. Muscle maintenance. Protein timing post-workout spikes synthesis 30%. Leucine-rich, eggs, key. VO2 home tests. Cooper, 12-minute run, distance predicts capacity. Improve 5% quarterly. Metabolic monitoring. Wearables track RHR, under 60 BPM signals efficiency. Adjust sleep if elevated. Temptation tactics. Mindful eating, chew 20 times, reduces intake 12%. Evening rituals, tea, and book. Family fortification. Meal shares build bonds, cutting isolation-linked inflammation 25%. Kids lead, teach portions. Compounding effects. A decade in, 10 to 15 extra years vitality. Start small, scale. Supplementation basics. Omega-3, 2 grams EPA, DHA for heart. Vitamin D, 2000 IU if low sun. Test levels first. Recovery focus. Active rest, yoga Mondays, speed repair 20%. Foam rolling eases DOMS. Gut metabolism link. Probiotics like lactobacillus improve sensitivity 15%. Fiber 30 grams per day feeds. Hormone harmony. Ashwagandha 300 milligrams lowers cortisol 25%. Sleep ties in. Air quality. HPEA filters cut indoor toxins 50%, easing lung burden. Bone boosters. Weight-bearing walks and K2 100 micrograms preserve density 3%. Inflammation intel. Omega index 8% plus ideal for cardio protection. Water wisdom. Infuse cucumber for flavor, hitting 3 liters easy. Keto cycles. 80-20 rule. Sustain without burnout. Gallbladder gems. Lemon water mornings stimulate flow. Routine refinement. Quarterly audits. Tweak for seasons. Legacy lens. Habits echo generations. Vibrant families. Fasting fine-tune. Electrolyte broth during long prevents dips. Strength science. Eccentrics, slow lowers, build 20% more force. VO2 vitality. Swimming variants for low-impact gains. Metabolic mastery. HbA1c trends guide carbs. Temptation triumph. Pause 10 minutes, cravings fade 70%. Family fusion. Group challenges. Fun accountability. Sustained surge. Lifelong disease-proof.
Part 7. Overcoming common hurdles. Your resilience. Plateaus hit everyone. Metabolism adapts, slowing loss 10 to 15% after months. Counter, NEAT boosts, non-exercise activity, pace calls, stand meetings,
Add 300 cal burn daily without gym time. Track steps 10K baseline, 12K accelerates. Emotional barriers. Stress eating from life chaos? Identify cues, boredom, not hunger, and redirect. 5-min walks release endorphins matching chocolates hit. Therapy apps like Calm guide CBT, reframing I deserve this to I deserve vitality. Adherence dips. 80% fail long-term from isolation. Build tribes, online forums, or local walks. Sharing wins ups retention 65%. Apps like MyFitnessPal community features motivate. Women hurdles, PMS cravings, magnesium 400 milligrams plus dark chocolate 85% plus curbs 40%. Menstrual tracking syncs fasts, avoiding low energy phases. Men challenges, workaholic skips, batch workouts, 20 men hit mornings, fit busy lives, spiking T 15%. Buddy systems in force. Family friction, picky eaters, involve in recipes, kids design salads, boost acceptance 50%. Compromise plates, 70% shared, 30% personal. Injury setbacks, modify, swim overrun if knees ache, maintains VO2 without strain. PT consults prevent 80% recurrences. Motivation lulls, goal pyramids, short, weekly weights, mid, quarterly panels, long, decade vitality, renew purpose. Rewards, new gear post-milestone. Q&A hurdles, OMAD social, pre-plan portable proteins, jerky, nuts for events. Hydrate extra to sustain energy. Thyroid stalls, if no progress, check iodine. Seaweed 150 micrograms weekly. Anti-inflammatories like ginger tea aid. Gallbladder fears, ultrasound if worried, most OMAD fine. Choline, eggs, supports. Sleep saboteurs, caffeine post-noon, cut for 6 hours, improves depth 30%. Weighted blankets reduce toss 25%. Hormone hurdles, low T, sleep plus zinc fix 20%. Women estrogen dips, phytoestrogens from flax. Gut glitches, bloating, bone broth heals lining, up diversity 15%. Inflammation flares, weather changes, turmeric lattes daily, curbs 30%. Water woes, taste issues, infusions, mint, berry, encourage 3 liters. Keto kinks, constipation, psyllium 10 grams plus fats, resolves 90%. Routine ruts, seasonal, winter indoors, summer hikes, keeps fresh. Discipline droughts, accountability journals, daily wins, rebuild 40%. Fasting fails, dizziness, salt up and start shorter. Strength slumps, form videos ensure gains. VO2 valleys, altitude masks simulate, boost 10%. Metabolic mysteries, DEXA scans clarify. Temptation tsunamis, stock decoys, veggie chips. Family feuds, education nights, fun facts engage. Hurdle hop, each overcome compounds resilience. SUPS slips, cycle B vitamins 3 months on and off. Recovery riffs, sauna plus cold showers alternate. Gut guards, avoid antibiotics unless vital. Hormone holds, annual endo check. Air alerts, plants purify, easy add. Bone bumps, resistance over cardio heavy. Inflammation insights, food diary links. Water wins, timed reminders app. Keto keys, electrolyte test strips. Gallbladder guards, annual scan. Routine resets, monthly reviews. Legacy lifts, share stories inspire. Fasting finesse, listen body, adjust. Strength surges, progressive overload. VO2 victories, race goals motivate. Metabolic maps, lab trends guide. Temptation tames, pause techniques. Family flows, collective goals. Barrier breakthroughs,
Persistent Wins. Part 8. Lifelong Vitality Blueprint. Your Legacy. Annual retreats, health audits, new skills, reignite. Track net worth in vitality. Energy scores 8/10 plus. Relationships thriving. Global ties. Metabolic health epidemics, obesity at 42% worldwide, demand personal revolutions. Share knowledge. Communities amplify impact. Q&A finale. OMAD myths busted. Sustains muscle if protein hits 1.8 grams per kg. Thyroid triumph. 80% improves sans meds. Gallbladder grace. Flow optimizes with herbs, no fears. Sleep summit. 8 hours equals 20% lifespan edge. Hormone horizons. Balance yields joy. Gut galaxy. Diversity equals disease shield. Inflammation end. Lifestyle quells 70%. Water wellness. Pure source equals clear mind. Keto culmination. Sustainable, vibrant. Routine radiance. Evolve, endure. Discipline diamond. Forge daily. Fasting finale. Renewal tool. Strength stronghold. Age-proof. VO2 vanguard. Breath of life. Metabolic monument. Built habits. Temptation transcendence. Choice power. Family fortress. Shared strength. Vitality vista. Yours to claim. SUPS synergy. Targeted, tested. Recovery realm. Rest as fuel. Gut guardianship. Nurture within. Hormone haven. Natural flow. Air abundance. Clean sustains. Bone bastion. Load to last. Inflammation immunity. Proactive peace. Water wisdom. Hydrate horizons. Keto kingdom. Ruled wisely. Gallbladder gateway. Open paths. Routine renaissance. Renew yearly. Legacy lighthouse. Guide others. Fasting frontier. Explore safely. Strength symphony. Harmonize body. VO2 voyage. Endure adventures. Metabolic mastery. Own your engine. Temptation temple. Inner calm. Family foundation. Rooted deep. Blueprint brilliance. Live long, thrive. In closing, this script empowers,